Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking all about low back pain, and if you wake up in the morning with low back pain, what to do first thing in the morning. So I know that low back pain is one of the most common ailments in our country. Most people experience low back pain at some point in your life. Today we're not going to get into the real details, real weeds of why you have low back pain, but more importantly, if you're one of those people that I talk to probably on a weekly basis that wakes up with low back pain, I'm going to give you some stretches to do before you even get out of bed in the morning to hopefully help you have less low back pain in the morning and then throughout the course of your day. So you might be thinking, why in the world do we even have this low back pain, right? So some people, what happens is we have degeneration within the discs of our spine. So the discs are these fat, they kind of think of them like jelly donuts. They're between the bones and they allow our bones and our spine to move and articulate with the joints of our spine. They help absorb shock, right? They're really, really important. But if over the course of time you've got degeneration that breaks these discs down between those bones, and we start to get degeneration, or what people might call arthritis or osteoarthritis, or any number of different names. But when those bones start to break down, that's when we can experience pain and discomfort because there's pressure on some surrounding nerves and the muscles, all kinds of soft tissues are disrupted. And then what happens is, so let's say you have this disc right here is damaged, and it is over the course of the day gets kind of shrunk down because gravity kind of beats it down, right? But then when you lay down at night, that disc can start to enlarge a little bit. It kind of starts to expand, get some water content back in it, right? And it's like, oh, that's not so bad. But then if you stand up first thing in the morning and you put gravity right back down on that disc, and you've got that force, that vertical force going right back down on that disc, it squishes all that water back out, and you end up with pain the first time you put your foot down in the morning, or in the first few minutes of the day. It's just you can't shower, you can't do your makeup because that pain is so intense. So today I'm going to give you just a very few stretches to do while you're still in bed to combat that, to kind of wake that spine up, wake that disc up, and hopefully help you, like I said, have less pain. So if this is you and you have pain, what I want you to do before you even get out of bed in the morning is, if you can do as much of like a full body stretch as possible, right? Just kind of stretch out those legs, get those arms above you, just a little bit of a stretch, right? I can't exactly demonstrate that one right now. And yes, it's not that easy to put your arms all the way above you in bed because you've got your wall or headboard behind you, but stretch those legs out, just kind of start warming that body up after you've been sleeping all night. Also, what you can do, if you're laying down before you get out of bed, I want you just to take a knee and kind of pull it in towards your chest. So you're just going to pull it in towards your chest and just hold it there lightly at first, right? You're just kind of holding it here and just doing a nice light stretch. Nothing crazy. Then you can also, instead of bringing it just towards your chest, you can kind of bring it out and up and kind of towards your armpit. This isn't the easiest stretch to do in jeans, by the way, right? But up towards that armpit and kind of just hold it here. In fact, you could even just let your leg kind of open up to the side, and then you could also really lightly do a little bit of rotation off. Now, some people aren't going to be able to do as much rotation. If that's you, just do a very light rotation or skip the rotation in general. If you know that rotating hurts your lower back, skip that one, right? But many people can do a little bit of a light rotation where you're keeping your the same shoulder that is the leg up and over. You want to keep that shoulder touching your mattress or the ground, right? Or the pillow. You're just lightly doing a little bit of rotation. And if you can get your leg even farther over, great, right? So leg in, leg up to the armpit, leg lightly across. Now from here, if you sit up in bed, those are kind of the basic few that I give everyone, right? But if you're like, I want to do a little bit more than that even, if you stood up and you did a forward fold almost over your legs while you're in bed, what you want to do here is you want to sit up and then just reach for your shins at first. Remember, this is right first thing in the morning. You don't want to push those muscles too much either. So you're just kind of flat back, leaning forward, right? So if you're leaning forward, and then if you're waiting here for 5, 10, 15 seconds, and then you can kind of round forward and reach towards those toes as well. Again, only if that feels comfortable. Now, when you're doing any of these stretches, take your time with them. Don't rush through them. Start with 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 seconds each and see how that feels. Hopefully, if you can do this on a regular basis in the morning, it'll help you decrease that low back pain when you get out of the bed instantly, right away in the morning. And hopefully what you can do is also seek some care from a healthcare professional where you can address that lower back pain and hopefully eliminate it or minimize it. Do what you can to be able to live a life with a body that supports you in what you want to do. Right? So again, I'm not your physician. This is just some general advice. If you do have low back pain and you need help, seek out, go talk to your doctor and see if they also recommend these, which I think they would. So thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate your support. Stay tuned for new episodes that come out every Monday and Thursday.